Yeah, Marco, I think people are liking the map. We've had quite a few good games. It's definitely like a player map, I think. Like there's a lot of
Good luck. Have fun. Don't die.
Thank you, Slicer. Yeah, I think this map definitely opens itself up to like the better you are, the faster you are, the more you can micro, the more you can split, the more that this map's going to benefit you. There's quite a few opportunities. You know, the players that are able to split off and stuff can get a lot done. So it's been pretty fun watching at both lower and higher levels. I think you'll like it, Marco. I think it's a map. It's a map for the top level players. Whereas next month we're getting weird with the map. I'm bringing a genetic mutator. There might be some airports maybe. I don't know yet. It's gonna get weird next month. All right. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Kicking things off here in the D2 tournament. We got Saw in yellow on the right. We got Fish in red on the left. Now, Fish is obviously a lower ranked player. He did win D4. He wasn't able to play D3, so we did hop him up to D2 because we needed another player. And he's just been playing really, really good. Ultimately, I said, Fish, you feel like you can play D2? He said, I'm not D2, but my advantage is I've played this map 1,000 times. And that's really what it comes down to here. Fish really knows this map. He's pretty dialed in. We saw that in his D4 tournament where he had quite a few decisive victories against some good players. So we'll see if he can pull it out here. We all know Saw. Obviously, Saw's a great player. We saw him come out last month and do a lot of work. Saw is, Saw out of Jordan, guys. Saw, Quas, and Legend all out of Jordan. And then we got Fish fighting out of the US of A. So yeah, so we are going to see Fish get down. He likes to get in the corners here and harass these oils. Remember, guys, you can't defend those oils. Can't build sentry guns, so they are a bit exposed. So whoever can get map control early on, who has the dominating army, can usually get in there and get some work done on those. And a super early tech push here from Saw. I can't really remember Saw's style last month. I don't remember them pushing tech like this, but this map is playing very, very interesting for those of you guys who haven't seen it as well. The 2 oils to start off really kickstart your economy, and by doing that, it allows you to do a lot of wacky stuff in the opening. Nice split from Fish here. He's got 2 tanks topside. He's going to try to harass that oil. We'll see how quickly Saw can respond to that. Deso's out now for Saw, and a super early Naval Yard. Look at this Naval Yard. Naval Yard and Battle Lab out right away. And again, guys, on this map, those 2 oils to start you out early on, you can definitely push tech earlier. You have the economy for it. But as I say that, Saw is bottoming out. But before Saw bottoms out his economy, he does get a Dreadnought on the field. Fish needs to get his fodder in the mix here. Fish going to send it down the middle. He's got a couple tanks on the backside doing work as well. He goes then into the alligator pit here and catches Saw a bit out of position, but Fish is severely out-tanked here, not managing his fodder very well either, and not using his defensive advantage. He's on 7K, and I don't see any sentry guns. So Fish needs to get his other rhinos in the fight. Where is the sentry gun from Fish here? Just a little slow on the click here, but he should be able to hold this position, and his split on the backside is doing work. I think that's why Fish is looking a little distracted, because he is. He was managing his own attack on the back end and did get some damage done. Looks like he took out a few oils. We'll see how quickly Fish can get a drone out here to deal with that Deso, or a sentry gun. For the love of God, Fish, you're on 8K. Saw is broke, so if Fish can continue to hold this position, he may be able to get a leg up here as Saw's economy is bottoming out and Fish sitting on a cool 8K. Yeah, so I think a lot of you guys, well, I anyway, was very focused on Saw's attack on the bottom left and kind of missed what was going on the top right, but Fish was able to get a battle lab and at least a couple oils there, so definitely good value for Fish and being able to hold out on the attack. I think Fish has to be pretty happy with himself here. Now, obviously, Fish does not know the financial situation of the game as it stands, but Fish is so far ahead on money right now, he really affords him to do a lot, and Saw really struggling to catch up, and that really comes from, you know, Saw pushed that early tech and was counting on having those oils, and Fish got in there and took them out. So now you see Saw having to rapidly try to build oils to get back in the game here, and Fish jumps in and takes another oil. So now Saw is stuck trying to pump these oils, and in the process of doing that, you're going to see Saw get so far behind on War Factories as Fish brings out his 6th War Factory. My God. So Fish now going to advance his position with the tanks. He's now preparing a split. Fish has been splitting so well on this map. I said, Fish, your splits are amazing. He said, yeah, I practiced them a ton. And yeah, you really see it here. So now Fish, blundering on the bottom side as he drives through a lot of radiation, but he does bring a split top side. He's going to dive on the MCV here and get it. It's a lot of smoking tanks. I'd like to see him do some damage control here and maybe try to try to go for some tanks as well. Now the counterpunch is coming from Saw, so Fish chose to dove on the nuclear reactor as well. It did put Saw low power. Now Fish just has to hold this position. He doesn't have any desolators, but he does have drones, and for some reason Fish is not building sentry guns. Sentry guns are great. If you guys don't know what they are, they come out of the ground, they shoot your opponents. I'm kidding, you guys know what sentry guns are. Oh, can he save the MCV? The conscripts, and Fish saves the MCV. Wow, and if I sound a little excited, a little biased in the booth, it's because I am. Fish came up from D4. Obviously, he's a great guy. We all love Fish. It's just, I'm excited to see him hanging in here in D2. Now, after he picks up this first one, now that I know he can hang, now I'm back to cheering for both players, because ultimately, we're here for the barn burners. We want that game number 5. But what a first point to start things off here. Fish now switching over to drones. Bit questionable. Generally, you don't need to switch over to drones when you're up. But I like that. Get in there, thin out those rhinos. Also a good way to counter the desos, although he doesn't effectively do that. And Saw quits out. Fish is a beast. Fish puts that first one on the board. And it is very interesting first point there. I actually think that Saw, I love Saw's early tech. The early tech, that early dreadnought, I love it. Fish countered it. Fish was able to get behind enemy lines and destroy Saw's economy. And obviously when you're pushing tech, you have to have the economy. And so Fish was able to get that split backside and just chop Saw off at the legs. And Saw had a very difficult time coming back. Oh, 2-minute prediction. Nice. Zed got the prediction up. Zed OP mod. Thanks, buddy. Lloyd, you were playing Blitz today? You were playing this map today? We've seen on Allied versus Allied, this map does play a little slow, but other than Allied versus Allied, I don't think we've seen very few games come to points. No, I don't think Saw can afford to go early tech again. Although, I don't know, that early tech would have been devastating, but he just wasn't able to protect his backside, wasn't able to keep his economy rolling with it. Yeah, you know, the original version of this map, these corners were bigger. They came out to about here. And so that did make you, this newer version of the map, there is more room to build, and it did get a little too turtley for me. I would have preferred that not. Yeah, a couple things didn't work out quite the way I'd planned. I still think it's playing pretty well. We haven't seen that many ties. Seen a lot of good action, a lot of splits being rewarded. Obviously, that's always the idea. Rewarding splits is kind of a big part of the game. But so the middle here, this choke point is a little too tight. The middle's not quite as playable as I would have liked it to be. And then there's too much building area here, so it's a little too campy, I think, in some cases, if players choose to play it like that. So. But anyway, it's so difficult putting these maps together and having them come out perfectly. This is the 10th version of the map. When you see like this is map Yin Yang 8.10. 8 is the version of Blitz, and then the second number is the version of the map. So we've already had 10 versions of this. It's just it's insane what goes into this stuff. Not by me, obviously. I do very little. Fish accidentally packs his MCV. Fish purposefully packs his MCV. Fish accidentally packs his MCV. All right, so now we see Saw coming out here. Gonna play a bit more traditional here. Gonna go straight rhinos. Ooh, Saw's has his fodder way out of position in that battle. Does get an oil, but pays a decent price here. Let's see if Fish tries to counter punch here. Don't think he has the tanks for it. Looks like Fish got splashed by that oil. Quite a few smoking rhinos, which is unfortunate here. This is actually a very rare, I don't know how rare, but this is actually a position where a service depot would be good for Fish. He does have a bit of time here, and he could actually repair some of those tanks. Smoking tanks is rough, man. Smoking tanks is really, really tough. Ooh, and now we see a complete switch in methodology. Complete switch in methodology here as Fish switches over to Battle Lab. Ooh. And Fish defending quite easily here, switching over to drones and tech. I like that from Fish, keeping Saw on his toes. You know, Fish played a very different game last time. We saw him with 6 war factories. This game he's going early battle lap, although Saw also out with the early battle lap, but Fish is going to get the first Dreadnought out here. Dreadnought out for Fish. Going to be able to start getting some work done. Look at this, no anti-air from Saw. That first Dreadnought, here it is. That first Dreadnought's going to go to work. That war factory's going down. And the Dreadnoughts do not have to go far on this map. So now a flak cannon out, and Saw is now scrambling flak troopers to try to counter. But yeah, I'd like to see Fish just pound straight into that flak cannon, just target the flak cannon, target the anti-air, get both of them synced up. But Fish is going to drive in here and try to target the anti-air. This is a bit risky. He does not want to get counterpunched here by throwing these tanks. Now Saw out with his own Dreadnought, and Saw does pull ahead on that tank battle. So with Saw now having map control here, does get in. Ooh, but the elite Rhino comes out for Fish. And Fish, I think, just destroyed one of his own tanks with a Dreadnought. And now Saw's Dreadnought's going off. Fish jumps in. He dives with those tanks trying to get the Dreadnoughts. But in the process of he tried to take out his anti-air. He tried to take out the Dreadnoughts. And in the process of doing both those things, he is losing tanks. And this Dreadnought continuing to go to work for Saw. Fish does not have any anti-air. Dreadnought versus Dreadnought battle. You guys saw it here first. Fish just sunk one of the Dreadnoughts, but not before the damage was done. Now Fish targeting the naval yard. And is there a V3 rocket on the field? What is happening right now? But Fish cannot keep up on the land battle. He does have some money right now. There's a few different things he could be doing. The flak cannon comes out to try to slow down that Dreadnought, but Saw has a massive tank advantage right now. I didn't catch it for sure. I feel like Fish maybe had his War Factories AFK for a second. I feel like he got a little too far behind. I know he was building drones for a while. I'm not sure how quickly he made the switch back over. The Dreadnought's doing work now. Take out the nuclear reactor, and what a wacky game right now. And again, Fish forced to try to dive on those Dreadnoughts, but in the process gives up his tanks, and Saw's going to take that one home. And what an interesting series so far to see such a diverse look from both players. Very, very exciting. Oh my, with the raid. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Slicer. Yeah, the traffic light got fixed, Roy. Yep. Frieza, yeah, obviously a very tank-heavy map. Although the tech is interesting. You know, you've seen it once players learn how to use the Navy. I think 8.10 is in the map section of my Discord. I'll check that right now, Slicer, but it should be in the map section on Discord. The 8.10, I forget, it changed something very, very minor. The last couple revisions changed very, very little things. If it was something massive, I would ping everyone. Eli, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for hanging out. All right, Omoy, you were training with Hassan. Hopefully you got him ready for some GGs, man. We're here for the action. We're here for the barn burners. Let's see if the map... Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's in the map section, the newest version. All right, here we go, here we go, here we go. So both players in these lower divisions, we do let them choose their own faction. So both players sticking with the Soviet versus Soviet look here. Soviet versus Soviet look. So both players really balancing the tech well. And it's interesting to see, you know, it's fun. You know, this month, I always think of the lower divisions as being like more clueless. But realistically, what we've seen in Blitz this month is in the lower divisions, everyone's kind of doing the same stuff. The higher divisions are just doing more things at the same time. So in the lower divisions, you have players maybe who try to go tech, but ultimately in the lower divisions, players just pump the Rhinos. And at these higher divisions, you're seeing players, the same Rhino wars we're seeing in D4, D5, but you're seeing also on the back end, the tech pushes, the Dreadnoughts, mixing and matching with those kind of things. Obviously, you're seeing more splits, better micro, better use of fodder, those kind of things as well. But I think it's fun to watch both these players, given the extra economic boost they have on this map, to lean into that and bring these early battle labs and really mix things up quickly. I mean, in that last game, for God's sake, there was a V3 rocket getting damage done. That might have been a misclick, but I enjoyed it. All right, so point number 3 here. It is best of 5, so the action going to be rolling on here. Both at these right at each other's throats here. Very, very even. Let's see this prediction.
I've got the knowledge.
Why does my prediction layer never work? Can you guys see the prediction right now? Is there a prediction like up available? All right. So nice amount of fodder and tanks. Maybe a slight lead for Fish here, but pushing into sentry guns would be difficult. This is a position where Fish could consider. So in this position, Red could consider attacking from a different route and forcing Saw to build sentry guns in multiple positions. There's 3 different positions you can kind of attack from on this map, arguably 5 if you count the back sides of the oils. And by kind of baiting around, you know, that's why the pros, like at the top level, your tanks never stop moving, and that requires your opponent to have to keep a better eye on you, and also they have to build more sentry guns. And building sentry guns is always nice. Obviously, it slows down your opponent's economy. So Fish does bring a split top side, but Saw matches it 2 for 2. And Fish is going to push on the bottom side at the same time, trying to get around that Desolator. Now going to try to come through that back door. Not sure if he has the tanks to pull ahead here, but without sentry guns, he should be able to. Oh, Fish runs right into that Deso. Oh my God, Fish is able to kill that Deso. What just happened on the top side? Saw sent 2 rhinos up there. Saw must have grabbed all of his rhinos and pulled them back. Fish has 2 rhinos AFK. Oh, but that Dreadnought does get in, gets 2 rockets off before it goes down, grabs an oil. Nice quick little hit there. Oh, and Fish has some missed tank control on the bottom side, throws a couple rhinos, and that could be enough to tip the tides here in this battle. Very, very even on the bottom here. Fish now with a fodder advantage, but he's got a few smoking rhinos and he is behind. But on the top side, oh, and Fish pulls all of his rhinos. Very unfortunate misclick for Fish there. Fish had 2 rhinos on the top side about to take out an oil. He clicked the grab all my units button, and in the process he took his 2 rhinos away from that top oil. They were on a specific quest. They're like, Commander, I don't know, I'm about to destroy this oil. Does that really make sense? Are you sure you want to pull me through the opponent's base for no reason? And so they got switched off their task. Fish does take a bit of splash damage there. When you're destroying the oils, you really want to micro your units away from the oil right before you destroy it. And Fish has some stuff he needs to be doing on the back end here. He's got 2 smoking buildings. He's on 3K. There's a few things he can do. He's just spreading himself a little too thin, but I like it. He's right on the edge right now. He's doing a lot of things. But Saw bringing a very diverse look, and I love this from Saw. The Desolators, the Battle Lab. Ooh, and Fish, not great tank control here, driving right through that bottleneck and pays a heavy price for it. And Saw sees the opening, gonna spring on it. Saw using the Desos, the sentry guns. He's got the Battle Lab out. So I would like to see another Dreadnought from Saw here. Another Dreadnought could do some nice work here. And a nice Tesla coil from Saw, but Fish does get right out of range of it. Fish tries to dive on that oil. And I like all the different ideas from Fish. He's really mixing things up nicely, but he's doing 5 things at 60%, and it might be better to do 2 things at 80%. But it's a very close equation here. So Desolator's now on the top side to counter these rhinos. Fish should be able to get this oil. He does get that oil just in time. Pays a couple rhinos for it. Hard to say. Decent value. So now Fish has been able to take out both oils from Saw, which is nice. Slows down his economy a bit, but Saw's still looking pretty good here on 7 oils still. So Fish needs to try to find ways to keep harassing him. Does not want to let Saw sit back and build up. Another Dreadnought out now. Yep, I like this. So Fish is going to go into the Gator Pit and try to harass that Dreadnought from the ground. But needs to be careful. 2 tanks out of position, loses 1. Now Fish bringing an attack from the top side. Going to dive on that nuclear reactor. Oh, could take that oil too. That oil would be nice. But he retreats here. Probably nice to save those tanks. He's got a lot of bruised tanks in that battle. Needs to be careful here. If he throws too many tanks, Saw is just waiting to spring on him. We got an alligator now attacking Saw's tanks in the middle, which I find to be hilarious. And Fish has got a lot of smoking buildings, and it really makes you appreciate when you see a player with burning buildings that they're not repairing. That means they are so busy. They are all hands on deck right now. I think Fish might be playing with one of his feet at the moment, but these Dreadnoughts are coming out, and they're going to start pounding away, trying to attack the army for the moment. Fish able to get in there and dive on one and doesn't pay a very high toll for it, so that's great value for Fish. Just needs to be careful here. Fish now does have a tank advantage, but a lot of bruised tanks, and Saw trying to slow him down, using the Dreadnoughts to target the tanks. So Fish just looking for the opening here, some fodder could be nice here. I know Saw does have those Desolators out, but fodder could be nice as Fish's economy finally catches up. He's on a cool 6K. Now's the time to start pumping some dogs, making some other things happen now that he has a chunk of money. But Saw is coming at him with everything right now, the Dreadnoughts and the Kirov. We could see an Iron Curtain coming from Saw. Saw now on 12K. 12K, if the Iron Curtain comes with, that is the Holy Soviet Trinity. Kirov, Dreadnoughts, and Iron Curtain is a very, very scary look here, and Saw's already halfway there. So now the flak tracks are having to shoot the Kirov, which allows the Dreadnoughts to get a couple missiles through, and Saw's going to continue to base walk here on the bottom side, try to stretch himself out a little bit, and in the process of doing that, can allow his Tesla coils to help defend this Dreadnought. And Fish needs to be looking for an answer. He needs to be looking for a counterpunch. He's, there's different ways for him to try to stay alive, but ultimately staying alive is not going to be enough here. He does see an opening on the top side, gets in, takes a War Factory. Unfortunately, missed tank control there again as the tanks drive through a lot of defensive structures, pays a pretty high price. Now Saw going to go top side, and Fish is accepting the base trade here. And Saw doesn't deploy those Desos on the bottom side, and does Fish a huge favor there by not deploying those Desos. Saw, both players now on each other's bases. You see Saw's tanks on the top side AFK for a second, a bit confused. We'll see who can defend the backside more. That nuclear reactor does a lot of splash damage, and Fish has all smoking tanks. These tanks are going to pop quickly. So Fish does get Saw to go low power here and takes the battle lab. So Fish can pull back and defend this position. He needs to be careful with his tank control here. He needs to be pumping drones. He needs to be pumping sentry guns. He's on 21k. That barracks needs to be pumping units. Oh, Fish needs to be pumping on all 4 tabs. He's not able to do it. Saw just has too many tanks. Beautifully well played there by Saw. They saw an opening on the top side, got in, did the math, did the math right, knew that he could make that one happen. Gets in there now, great decision making, taking those producing buildings, and Saw now with a couple War Factories left, nothing for Fish to do. But what an absolute banger of a match, well played by both players. Wow. The alligator's wrecking. Marco, did someone tell you to use the tank with the OK, or were you just like scrolling through the 500 emojis one day and you were like, dude, the Frank or the frog with the oh, he's not doing an OK, he's just waving. It's just a frog waving. I thought it was a frog going like this. All right, Saw puts another one on the board. But what does it mean though, Marco? Like, what is it? The timer wasn't on. How does no one notice when the timer's not on? Oh, it doesn't mean anything. Okay, well. Yeah, the timer was on. I just didn't have there's a layer that shows it for you guys in the top right. So if you ever don't see the layer for the timer, just let me know and I'll pop it up there. All right, Marco. Well, I was kind of hoping there was like this cool story behind it and you would enlighten us all, but no meaning's fun too. Nothing Marco does has any meaning. That's a bit severe. It's kind of a hit at his existence. All right, here we go, guys. So it is 2-1. Oh, it's from Elden Ring. Okay. All right, so it is 2-1 now. So Saw in yellow on the right here, up on a second point. Yeah, so Fish down, and yeah, I mean, someone in the chat kind of saying like you can tell Fish has less experience, and that's absolutely right. I mean, Fish last month was a brand new player. This month he did win D4, but on this map he has good experience. He watches a lot of blitz, but you can tell his technical skills. He's just got a lot less hours banked than a lot of players, and you're seeing he's just making a lot of mistakes with his pathing. Just minor mistakes, grabbing the different hotkeys and stuff like that. But ultimately, banger of matches here, a lot of fun. And now Saw gonna try to take the momentum from that last game, get in the driver's seat here early, try to harass those oils. Fish switching over to some early drones. Drone, every time you get a drone in a tank, it is good value. Drones build faster and they're cheaper, which is the same thing. But so anytime you can get a drone in is a good hit. But Fish needs to be careful here. He does need to defend himself. So Fish has a split on the bottom side, but Saw's gonna come right in here, and Fish does need to pull his tanks back to defend. Yep, so Saw with the tank advantage here is gonna hop top side. And now Fish gonna go for the MCV. The good old-fashioned MCV up. Now he needs to target the tanks. Now at this point, nope. So diving on a building like that, it can work, obviously, if it's an MCV. But as soon as you hit it, you have to turn and shoot the enemy tanks, or you're going to get counterpunched, and unfortunately, you're going to get knocked out. If he could have taken a couple tanks with him there, still would have been hard. Saw's way ahead here. But had Fish pivoted right at that moment, he probably could have taken 3 of these rhinos. Probably still wouldn't have mattered. But decent idea there from Fish to get down and take the MCV. Saw's tough though. Saw's a great player. Saw's a great player. Vina with the follow. I didn't thank you for the follow 26 minutes ago. Hopefully you're still here and you heard that. I care about you. Saw picks it up. GG's.